Okay guys, we're going to have a look at how to increase or decrease an amount by a percentage. Okay, and just to explain what I mean by that, looking at this first question, it means I would want to work out what 23% of £300 is, and then I would increase my £300 by that amount. So 23% of £300 is the extra money I'm being able to add on to my 300. Here, I would want to decrease 2,000 by 45%, and that means 45% of my 2,000. So I would work out what my 45% of 2,000 is, and I would subtract it from this amount, although I'm going to show you there is a faster way and a better way of thinking about it. Now, what we need to think about is when I've increased an amount by 13%, I'm actually finding a funny kind of percentage of my amount. I've got my original amount. My original amount of anything, we always start off by saying is 100% the whole thing. So 100% of £300 is £300. 100% of 65 kilograms is 65 kilograms. 100% means one lot of, because if you change that into a decimal, divide by 100, you'd get 1. So you'd have 1 times £300. £300, 100%, the whole thing. Okay, so what happens when I increase an amount by 13%? I've got my amount, and then I add on to my amount an extra 13% of my amount. So I am actually finding something, it's almost like a top-heavy improper fraction. In fact, it is a top-heavy improper fraction. It's 113% of the original amount. It's not the original amount, it's the original amount plus some. Now here's the thing though, when I'm taking away 13%, I start off with my original amount, which is 100%, the whole thing, and I chop off 13% of it. So actually, what I'm left with is 87% of it. That's 100% take away 13%. So if I just showed you, if I just use a little kind of a pizza diagram here. So if this is my whole amount, that's 100%, the whole thing. Okay, there we go, the whole thing. And if I take away a slice, take away a slice of it, remove 13% of it, what's left? Well, this here, this remaining section is actually 100%, take away that 13%, it's 87%. And that's very, very important for being able to do these calculations nice and skillfully. So I want you to use your calculator all the way through this sheet, and if you're still feeling a little bit wobbly on the calculator method using the multiplier, keep going because you're not alone. Lots and lots of people find that a little bit strange to start off with. Now, I'm going to do the first ones and you're going to have a go at the second set. So here we go. I want to increase £300 by 23%. What that means is I have my original amount of 100% and I'm going to help myself to an extra 23%. That means I want to know what is 123% of my £300. Bit strange, it's a bit like an improper fraction. It's more than one lot of the £300. It's the £300, the one lot of it, plus the extra bit. Now, can we change this into a decimal multiplier? Yes, we can. We divide it by 100 and we end up with 1.23 as our multiplier. Now, look really hard at this multiplier. This one lot of £300 will give you your £300. This 0.23 will give you a bit extra, the 23% extra. So that is our multiplier. Okay, so 1.23 lots of 300 is going to give me £369. So it's given me the extra 23%, which turned out to be £69. So let's have a look at this question now. I want to increase 65 kilograms by 11%. So I've got the original 100%, the original 65 kilograms, the whole thing, plus an extra 11%. So the percentage I actually want to find is 111% of 65 kilograms. So what is my multiplier going to be? Move my decimal point twice. I want 1.11 lots of 65 kilograms. And that gives me my 65 kilograms plus a little bit extra, plus the additional 11%. So let's see what happens. 1.11 times 65 yesterday gives me 72.15, and that's made up of my original 65 kilograms plus 7.15 kilograms, which is the extra 11%. So it's saving us from doing extra calculations, and much more importantly, it's going to allow us to do other problems, as you will see. Okay, now this one here, I had 100%, but I've taken away 45%. I don't have that 45%, so what have I got left? I've taken away this big chunk of 45%. What is left out of my 100%? It's actually going to be 55%. And here I am going to end up with only a part of my amount because I've lost some of it, haven't I? Do you like my sad voice there? We've lost some of it. Okay, so what's my multiplier for 55%? Well, divide by 100, 0.55. I only end up with just over half of this. Sad days, sad days. Okay, so 0.55 lots of 2,000. What's it going to give us? Let's see. 0.55 lots of 2,000 should give us just over half. Yes, it does. 1100, and they've just given us a value there. They didn't give us any units at all. Okay, so you've got some questions to do now. Off you go. Pause the video, please. And let's see how you got on. So the percentage you're calculating is 131%. Your multiplier is 1.31. Your calculation is going to be 200 times 1.31, which is 262. And we do have a unit here, it's pounds. Decrease 500 by 35%. You had 100%, you lost 35%, you've got 65% left. Your multiplier is 0.65. What is that going to be? 0.65 times 500, 325 pounds, because you've lost quite a lot of it. Okay, so one last thing before we finish this video. Finding percentage change. You need to learn this. Percentage change is calculated by looking at how much changed, dividing it by the original amount, and that will give you a fraction which you can convert to a decimal, and then you can convert to a percentage, as you know. Let's have a look at an example. So a coat increases in price from £25 to £27.50. So what was the change? Okay, so the change was £2.50, wasn't it? That's how much the coat price changed. What was the original? The original price, that word from gives us the clue. From £25, 25. Pop that into my calculator as a fraction. 2.5 divided by 25. You probably know what it is anyway. It's a tenth. Yesterday it's 0.1. And then multiply that by 100 to give you the percentage. Now, was it an increase or a decrease? Well, we know here because it's said it in the question. It's an increase, so it's a 10% increase. But what about a decrease? It works exactly the same way. Okay, so £30 to £25.50 is going down. Change is £4.50. What's the original price? £30. In it goes to your calculator. The change over the original as a decimal is 0.15, as a percentage multiplied by 100 is 15%. Can you guys have a go at these? Okay guys, so the change, what was the change? Was £30. What was the original 150? Did you put that into your calculator? 30 over 150. Did you change it to a decimal and then to a percentage? So it's a 20% increase. Now here, what was my change? Well, my change was, unfortunately, my car went down in value by 1,800. What was the original price? 6,000. Pop it into your calculator. Change it into a decimal. Did you get 30% decrease? Okay, that's fantastic. Thank you very much for watching.